Hello, and welcome. Let's talk about something we all know. That dull, throbbing ache in your lower back after a morning of gardening. The familiar stiffness in your knees that makes the staircase feel like a mountain. Or just a simple headache that clouds an otherwise beautiful afternoon. In those moments, what's the first thing so many of us reach for? For millions, it's this little bottle, Tylenol. It's been a trusted friend in our medicine cabinets for decades. It's gentle on the stomach, it's effective, and our doctors have told us it's one of the safest over-the-counter pain relievers we can take. We trust it to help us get back to our lives, to keep up with the grandkids, to enjoy our walks, to stay independent. But what if I told you that this trusted friend has a secret? A hidden danger that isn't about the pill itself, but about how it quietly finds its way into other medicines we take, especially during cold and flu season. This isn't about scaring you. This is about pulling back the curtain on a risk that is shockingly common, yet rarely discussed. It's a risk that centers on one of the most vital organs in your body, your liver. And by the end of our time together, you will hold the single most powerful tool to protect it. A skill so simple you'll wonder why no one ever showed you before. This knowledge is about empowerment. If you believe, as I do, that staying informed is the key to living a long, vibrant, and healthy life, I invite you to subscribe and join our community. We're all on this journey together. Let's begin by acknowledging why we have such a strong sense of security around Tylenol. The active ingredient is, of course, acetaminophen. For over 70 years, it has been the go-to choice for fever and pain relief for people of all ages. Unlike ibuprofen or naproxen, which belong to a class of drugs called NSAIDs, acetaminophen works differently. It doesn't target inflammation in the body in the same way, which is why it's often recommended for people with sensitive stomachs or those on certain blood thinners. Think of it as the reliable, gentle giant of pain relief. It doesn't come with the same warnings about stomach ulcers or kidney issues that can accompany other pain relievers, especially with long-term use. This reputation is well earned when the medication is used correctly. It has provided comfort to billions of people, allowing them to manage chronic conditions like arthritis or recover from a simple cold without debilitating aches. It has enabled us to show up for life's important moments, instead of being sidelined by pain. This sense of safety is reinforced everywhere we look. It's what a doctor might suggest after a minor procedure. It's what a pharmacist recommends for a grandchild's fever. It's a household name, synonymous with care and comfort. And because it's so accessible, sold in every pharmacy, grocery store, and gas station, we can become a little complacent. We see it as completely benign, like a vitamin. We don't think of it as a powerful medication with a strict upper limit. This deep-seated trust, this very sense of its safety, is paradoxically what creates the foundation for the hidden danger we're here to uncover. It's not the medication that's the villain. It's our misunderstanding of how and where we might be consuming it. Now, let's paint a picture. Imagine a woman named Eleanor. She's 72, active, and loves her weekly bridge game. One Tuesday morning, she wakes up with a splitting headache and a stuffy nose. A cold is coming on. She does what most of us would do. She goes to her medicine cabinet and takes 2 extra-strength Tylenol for the headache. It's her trusted remedy. An hour later, her nose is running and she's starting to cough. The headache is better, but the cold symptoms are getting worse. She remembers she has some multi-symptom cold and flu medicine in the pantry, something like a NyQuil or a Theraflu. It promises to relieve coughing, sneezing, and fever. Perfect. She takes the recommended dose, feeling responsible for tackling her symptoms head-on so she won't miss her bridge game tomorrow. Throughout the day, Eleanor follows the instructions on both boxes. She takes another dose of Tylenol a few hours later, and then another dose of the cold medicine before bed to help her sleep. She feels she is doing everything right. She's following the directions. She's taking two different products for two different problems, a headache and a cold. But what Eleanor doesn't know is that she has just made a critical mistake. She has unknowingly fallen into the trap of what experts call unintentional overdose or therapeutic duplication. The vast majority of severe liver damage from acetaminophen doesn't come from a single massive overdose. It comes from people like Eleanor, well-intentioned individuals who accidentally take too much over the course of a day or two because they don't realize that the active ingredient in their Tylenol is the exact same active ingredient in their cold and flu medicine. She was double dipping without even knowing it. Each dose, on its own, was perfectly safe, but combined, they pushed the total amount of acetaminophen in her system over the daily limit and into a danger zone for her liver. This is the crux of the problem. The danger isn't in the bottle of Tylenol. It's hidden in plain sight, across multiple boxes on the pharmacy shelf. So what is actually happening inside the body when this double dipping occurs? Why is the liver so uniquely vulnerable to an excess of acetaminophen? To understand this, let's think of your liver as a sophisticated and incredibly hard-working processing plant for your entire body. It has hundreds of jobs, but one of its most important is to detoxify and process everything you consume: food, nutrients, and, of course, medications. When you take a normal, recommended dose of acetaminophen, it travels to your liver. The liver has a primary, very efficient pathway, let's call it assembly line A, to process it. This assembly line safely breaks down the vast majority of the drug into harmless byproducts that your body can easily eliminate. It's a smooth, seamless operation. However, a tiny amount of the acetaminophen always goes down a different, secondary pathway. Let's call it assembly line B. This pathway creates a very toxic byproduct. Now, this isn't a problem under normal circumstances, because your liver is prepared for this. It produces a powerful substance called glutathione, which is like a specialized cleanup crew. This crew immediately swoops in, neutralizes the toxic byproduct from assembly line B, and escorts it safely out of the body. Here's where the danger begins. When you take too much acetaminophen, you overwhelm assembly line A. It simply can't keep up with the volume. More and more of the drug gets shunted over to the backup, assembly line B. Suddenly, assembly line B is churning out that toxic byproduct at a furious rate. Your liver's cleanup crew, the glutathione, rushes to neutralize it, but the supply is finite. Eventually, you run out of glutathione. And when that happens, the toxic byproduct has no one to stop it. It begins to build up inside the liver cells, and it is incredibly destructive. It starts attacking and killing the liver cells themselves. This is what acetaminophen-induced liver damage, or hepatotoxicity, is. It's the result of overwhelming the liver's primary processing system and depleting its natural defenses. The scariest part is that in the early stages, you might not feel a thing. The damage can be happening silently, without any clear warning signs, until it becomes very, very serious. That is why prevention, through awareness, is absolutely everything. This brings us to the most important part of our conversation today: the solution, the skill that puts the power to protect your liver squarely back in your hands. It doesn't require a prescription or a fancy device. It just requires a few seconds of your time and a pair of reading glasses. I'm talking about becoming a label detective. Every single over-the-counter medication sold in this country has a standardized label on the box called the Drug Facts Panel. We often ignore it, glancing only at the dosage instructions. But this label is your roadmap to safety. I want you to start looking at one section in particular. The active ingredients section, located right at the top. This is where the truth is revealed. Your mission, as a label detective, is to scan this section for one specific word: acetaminophen. It's that simple. Before you buy or take any pain reliever, cold medicine, flu remedy, sinus medication, or sleep aid, you must turn the box over and look for that word. Let's go back to Eleanor. If she had looked at the back of her extra-strength Tylenol box, under active ingredients, she would have seen acetaminophen 500 milligrams. Then, if she had picked up the box of multi-symptom cold medicine and looked at its active ingredients, she would have seen a list, perhaps a decongestant, a cough suppressant, and right there among them, acetaminophen 325 milligrams. The light bulb would have gone on. She would have realized these are not two different medicines for two different problems. They are two different products that share the same powerful liver processing ingredient. This skill is crucial because acetaminophen is a master of disguise. It's not just in products with Tylenol in the name. It's a key ingredient in Excedrin for migraines. It's in many versions of Alka-Seltzer plus cold and flu. It's in NyQuil and DayQuil. It's in Robitussin cough and chest congestion formulas. It's in sinus medications and allergy pills. It hides in plain sight. Learning to spot that one word, acetaminophen, on any label is like having a superpower. It allows you to see what's really inside the box and prevents you from making the common and dangerous mistake of accidental double dosing. So, from this day forward, make a promise to yourself. Never again will a medication go into your shopping cart or your body until you've first checked the active ingredients. Now that you're equipped to be a label detective for over-the-counter medications, we need to talk about another area where acetaminophen can hide: behind the pharmacy counter, in your prescription medications. This is especially relevant for seniors who may be managing chronic pain or recovering from surgeries or dental procedures. Many powerful prescription pain medications are actually combination drugs. They combine a stronger narcotic, like an opioid, with acetaminophen. The thinking is that the two ingredients work together to provide more effective pain relief. The problem is, patients are often so focused on the name of the narcotic, the oxycodone or the hydrocodone, that they are completely unaware that the pill also contains a full dose of acetaminophen. Some of the most common brand names you might recognize are Percocet, which is oxycodone and acetaminophen, or Vicodin and Norco, which are hydrocodone and acetaminophen. Someone could be taking one of these pills every 6 hours as prescribed by their doctor for post-surgery pain. Then, a day or two later, they develop a headache or a fever and, not thinking twice, they reach for a Tylenol. They have just unknowingly added a significant amount of acetaminophen on top of the dose already in their prescription pill, potentially pushing them dangerously close to, or over, the daily safe limit. This is why your relationship with your pharmacist is so incredibly important. They are one of the most valuable and underutilized resources on your healthcare team. When you pick up a new prescription, ask them directly, does this medication contain acetaminophen? Is it safe for me to take Tylenol with this? A great practice is to use only one pharmacy for all your prescriptions. Their computer system is designed to flag potential interactions and duplications. If you get one prescription from your surgeon filled at the hospital pharmacy and another from your family doctor filled at your local drugstore, neither system may have the full picture. By consolidating at one pharmacy, you create a crucial safety net. Your pharmacist becomes a co-detective, helping you connect the dots between all the medications you take, both prescription and over-the-counter, to ensure you are always on the side of safety. So, with all of this information, how do we move forward safely and confidently? This knowledge isn't meant to make you afraid of acetaminophen. It's meant to make you respectful of it. It's a valuable tool, but like any tool, it must be used correctly. First, know the limit. The generally accepted maximum daily dose for a healthy adult is 4,000 milligrams. However, for seniors, and especially for those with any known liver issues or who drink alcohol regularly, many doctors recommend a much lower limit, often no more than 3,000 milligrams per day. Some even suggest a maximum of 2,000. This is a critical conversation to have with your doctor. Ask them, based on my personal health, what is my safe upper limit for acetaminophen per day? Write that number down and keep it in mind. Second, become a tracker. When you do need to take acetaminophen, keep a small notepad or use an app on your phone to log the dose and the time you took it. If you take a dose of cold medicine, read the label, find the amount of acetaminophen, and log that too. This simple act of tracking eliminates guesswork and ensures you never accidentally exceed your daily limit. It seems like a small hassle, but it is a powerful habit for your safety. Third, always talk to your doctor or pharmacist before starting any new over-the-counter medication, especially if you take other prescriptions. Bring a list of everything you take, prescriptions, over-the-counter drugs, and even supplements, to your appointments. A complete picture allows your healthcare team to give you the safest advice. And finally, remember that pills are not the only option for pain. For chronic aches and pains like arthritis, consider complementary therapies. Gentle stretching or yoga can improve flexibility. Applying heat can soothe stiff joints, while ice can reduce acute inflammation. These methods won't replace medication entirely, but they can often reduce your reliance on it, lowering your overall dosage and risk. Your health journey is about having a full toolbox and knowing when to use each tool wisely. As we bring our conversation to a close, I want to leave you with a feeling of confidence, not fear. The world of medication can seem complex and even intimidating, but you hold more power than you think. Today, you learned that a trusted pain reliever can pose a hidden risk, not because it's a bad medicine, but because it's so common that it can be easy to take too much by accident. You now understand that this risk centers on your hard-working liver, and you know exactly how an unintentional overdose can overwhelm its natural defenses. Most importantly, you have gained the one skill that changes everything: the ability to be a label detective. By simply turning over the box and looking for the word acetaminophen, you can cut through the confusion of brand names and marketing to see what you are truly putting into your body. This is what it means to be an active, empowered manager of your own health. It's about being curious, asking questions, and taking small, simple steps that have a profound impact on your well-being. This knowledge protects you, and it allows you to continue using a helpful medication safely and effectively, so you can focus on what truly matters, living your life to the fullest. If you found this information valuable, please give this video a like and consider sharing it with a friend, a family member, or a neighbor. You never know who might need to hear this message. And for more deep dives into your health that are built on empowerment, be sure to subscribe. Thank you for taking this time for yourself. Be well and be safe.